Curse them all! I will enslave every last one of them. How is it that our greatest forces are unable to quell this pathetic rebellion? And where is Ingressus? Did I not summon him some time ago?
The Death Singer did not feel inclined to walk all the way down here. He says you can come to him if needed.
Sometimes when I sit here, I ask myself, what did it take to be so successful? I have only one answer, and that's to do whatever it takes. Make any sacrifice. When people are calling you crazy, you've just got to show them otherwise.
I'm glad you chose to give up the Prime Song. And it has certainly garnered you success. However, I would not take pride in your deeds, Solomon.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. Pride, honor, respect. They're just words. But this house, my wealth, and the fact that I'm the last human living freely in the kingdoms, that is something I treasure.
Your success has saved you thus far. But be careful who you betray, Solomon. Not everyone is as heartless as yourself.
Ingressus! The Knights of Ardonia are attacking again!
I know. I heard your shouting from up here.
Don't you mock me, Ingressus. This concerns you as well.
What concerns me is that your forces, including a Wither, were unable to defend against a single band of rebels. The resistance is growing in strength, and yet you do nothing.
The Knights of Ardonia and the Prime Songs were meant to be your responsibility. I knew speaking with you was going to be a waste of time. I'll deal with Merdian myself. Fly to Merdian and open the conduit long enough for a strike force to move through. Scorch, travel to Felden and reinforce our defenses.
With your permission, I wish to join the fight at Merdian.
For what purpose?
For another opportunity to strike at the Knights of Ardonia, of course. We can't allow the Nether to have all the fun. I'd like to kill a few of the leading knights myself.
What are you doing out here? Get back inside!
Take up your arms! Join and fight for your people!
I appreciate the rescue, but this won't be enough to hold the city once the Nether retaliates.
Rest easy. We are not as alone as you think.
The Knights of Ardonia must be desperate if they're calling upon Magnarites. I always thought your kind was dangerous and strong. You don't quite look like either. So glad that our paths keep crossing. You watched and ran as I killed Thalius, put up a pitiful fight at the vault, and have returned to shame yourself once again. It's no wonder you are clanless. No clan would welcome a weakling like yourself.
You're going to pay for the atrocities you've committed, Tygren.
One does not pay for such things. One is rewarded. Like this, for instance. A beautiful sword for the best of the Voltaris to wield.
You and the rest of the Voltaris, you're all just pawns of the Nether. In the end, you're nothing without them.
How ironic it is for you to die by Thalius's blade.
Fly to Felden with all haste. Tell them it is time.
We have a few hours before we continue on. Use this time to gather your strength. We're not finished just yet.
I never thought I'd see our kingdoms fight side by side again during my lifetime, but I'm glad that day has come.
And the Carthan people are likewise glad to rejoin the rest of Ardonia.
How did you ever defeat the Nether in your own kingdom?
The Nether never made it to Carthan. Remember that our beacon had been disabled since we left the Union. They had no way to surprise us with an infiltration. They did attempt to take Tartarus, but our tunnels and soldiers held them off.
And now the two strongest armies of Ardonia are united. Smart move.
And there he goes. Again.
I'm sure he'll return as he always does. The Tidesinger mentioned something about cross-dimensional beings and their fragile mortality.
Right, yeah. Whatever that means.
How many did we lose?
Casualties are always high against the Nether. Wither skeletons are stronger than ordinary undead.
We lost Onyx during the fight.
Onyx was one of the first to join the Knights of Ardonia.
He died saving a great many lives today. Many more will fall before we confront the Deathsinger. And their sacrifices will never be forgotten.
You're Senn, right?
Yeah, that's me.
These belong to Igneous. He wrote about his travels in some of them. He wrote about you. We thought you should have them.
I was hoping I'd get to see him again someday. What happened?
He ended the oppression of Carthan and our conflict with Cydonia. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his sacrifice. I'm sorry.
Igneous always said his life was short, and he wanted to make a difference. I'm glad he was able to.
Magnarites have a tradition. We name all our mountains and cities after heroes and leaders. Tartarus, Kalos, Makar, One was nearly named Malachi, but I think the new name will be much more appropriate.
Hey, look at that. Your first enchantment.
Ow!
Well, maybe not quite yet.
You must be hungry after all this fighting. Want something to eat? I made you a giant fruit salad. Hey, you can't always live off of farm animals. You need to eat your fruits and greens too. Fine. I'll just leave your food here and hang out with the people who appreciate my cooking. So, anyone hungry?
If it's more travel food, I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm not too hungry.
Not even for freshly baked cookies?
Oh, heck yeah!
Oh, I'm starving.
Thanks, Denny.
Where'd you learn to cook so well?
This is actually one of my own recipes. I was never the best farmer, so I mostly helped out with the meals. You have to try one of my pickles and family cakes.
After this war is finally over, we'll have to stop by your farm again and have one.
How about you give that weapon a test against a real opponent?
You sure? You aren't too busy?
I need to make sure my soldiers are trained and ready to fight.